Every Goblin Holiday Card Reviewed. Go! Merry Christmas, Bandits! Today we will be doing something a little different. Instead of looking at every search target for a specific card, we're just going to be reviewing every card in this specific series of tangentially related Yu-Gi-Oh cards that feature this very festive species of goblin celebrating all of their little goblin holidays. I'm a goblin who celebrates holidays. Yeah, I think my viewers can relate to this particular segment very well because you're all little stinky gremlin-ass goblins. You're all going green goblin mode. Fuck these hoes. He's pretty jolly. So that's the thing. I think we're not going to be rating them based on how good they are, but how jolly they are, you know? What do we think? Token collector, jolly or not jolly? If a token is special summoned, you can special summon this card from your graveyard or hand. If this card is special summoned, destroy as many tokens on the field as possible. And if you do, this card gains 400 attack for each token destroyed. Neither player can special summon tokens. So this card has seen some pretty extensive side deck play in certain formats where like synchro combos were very prevalent, like in like the very early COVID formats. And I also saw some play against like Adventure and Sword Soul, but at that point, those were pretty targeted hate that didn't always even work, so oftentimes you would swap it out for something with a little more coverage like Nibiru. Even still, this could definitely come back at any point. All it would take is, I don't know, something like a Sword Soul meta with, you know, maybe a couple other things that need tokens in the meta for, you know, there'd be enough considerable overlap to have a card like this come up. But most importantly, he's very jolly, you know? He seems to be having the time of his life out there collecting those tokens to cook up for token Thanksgiving dinner. Token collector reminds me of SpongeBob jellyfishing. Peeps, kill him. Token Sunday. Destroy as many tokens you control as possible, then destroy cards on the field up to the number of tokens destroyed by this effect. That's actually kind of interesting. If this card was like searchable by something, I don't know, I like it as I like the idea behind it, where I guess you like activate like a scapegoat, and then you go Token Sunday, pop your 4 goat tokens, pop 4 of your opponent's cards, non-targeting. That's actually very interesting. The design is interesting at the very least. But the real question is, do these men look like they're making merry? This guy here in the middle is having the time of his life. He's on like his 3rd or 4th goblin ale, and he's fucking that shit up. Token Thanksgiving. Destroy all tokens on the field. Increase your life points by the number of tokens destroyed times 800. Guys, what do you think? What do you think of playing this as a time card in Sword Soul? Do you think that Sword Soul needs a good way to win in time? Bruh. I think they could really use a card like this. This is, of course, the wrong holiday. He doesn't even look very happy. He doesn't look very jolly. This just looks like manual labor. This isn't Token Thanksgiving. This is just like a regular token harvest. This isn't a holiday at all. This is just work. 0 out of 10, not jolly. Gift exchange. Both players banish 1 card from their decks face down, and if they do, during the end phase of this turn, both players add to their hands the card their opponent banished by this effect. All you gotta do is resolve 5 copies of this card to give your opponent all 5 pieces of Exodia. This card, of course, is not very good. It's a very funny idea of like how to do like Christmas presents in Yu-Gi-Oh! You hide your present, you banish it face down so they can't see what you got them, and then during the end phase you reveal it. I wish they had done like, they had some sort of mechanic, which obviously like there's no way to like judge card quality in game. But I think there should be some sort of incentive to give your opponent the better card. Like whoever gives the opponent the card that costs more on TCG Player gets like 10,000 life points. We don't need financial incentives to be merry. That's true. Like obviously like it should just be in your nature to give your opponent a better gift than they're giving, like to give your opponent the best gift. It's not even about comparison, right? Like it's not about like who's giving who the better present. It's about giving your opponent like the best gift you can give them. Like that's the thing. And I think that's how the card should always be played. I think anyone who like doesn't play, like if you activate it and your opponent gives you a shitty gift, everyone at the table should like shun them. Everyone should just call them everyone should call them a Grinch for the rest of the thing. But as always, we gotta do a jolly check. These goblin children here are very jolly. She got a Bapple plushie. This looks like he got like some sort of ray gun, maybe like a toy car. But then like this guy's ruining it for everyone. The entire jolly balance is tipped by this fuckler who hates his Scrap Kong shirt. This is the Grinch. This is the motherfucking Goblin Grinch. He's going Grinch Goblin mode. Yami Party. At the start of your battle phase, you can target one face-up monster you control. This turn, your opponent chooses the attack targets for that monster. Also, if that monster you control battles an opponent's monster, it gains attack equal to its original attack during damage calculation only. Yami is a hot pot thing where everyone brings an ingredient, secret puts into a hot pot. Everyone picks something out in the dark and eats it once the lights are back on. Interesting. And so that kind of fits into the theme of this one goblin getting fucked over. What is he eating? I need like high definition art of all these cards. Oh, he got broccoli. Ah, you stupid bitch. Oh, see, they're literally doing that. She's turning the light on in the image. That's funny. So he got chicken. She got like an egg. But yeah, he got fucking broccoli like a little loser. This guy is not having a merry fucking Christmas. In terms of design, this is once again kind of interesting. It's like a way that you can kind of turn like a big monster that is just gonna win over anything your opponent has in battle into like an even bigger monster to do even more damage. It's not even like they have to have like a bunch of cards on board. Like they just have like one monster on board. Obviously they're like, well, you have to attack that one. And it's like, good, I want to. 6K into it. Obviously not very good. But I do find the design kind of interesting in that respect. How jolly are they? It's like, this time instead of 4 jolly to 1 not jolly, we do have a 5th person who seems, the mom in this scenario appears to also be in a state of contentment, a state of jolliness herself. But the darkness has even further consumed the Scrap Kong kid. He's even more fucked up from this. This was his second plane. Fukui, this man is deteriorating. He is actually about to be on billions must die mode. Billions of tokens must die. Each player shuffles their deck and excavates the top card of their deck. Add the excavated card with the higher attack to that player's hand. Also send the card with the lower attack to the graveyard. Spells and traps and monsters with a question mark attack are treated as 0. If tied, place the cards in the bottom of the deck. Fukui is just a funny spelling of lottery. I have no idea why they localized it as this. Well, it's Fukui, you don't get it. You don't get it, it's Fukui. You wouldn't get it because it's Fukui. So it appears that this is some form of like the card game War. Like you flip up just the top card of your deck and whoever has the higher number just wins. But also like if you're, okay, hear me out. If you're playing like Tearlament, you don't care if the card goes to your hand or if it gets like milled. So let's say you hit like a Merly, then that's a very low attack monster. Your opponent is probably gonna win out there, get that card to hand, you get to mill the Merly and trigger it. Meanwhile, if you excavate something like a Tearlament's Kashtira that has 2,300, it's got a pretty good chance of going to your hand, at which point you get to use it. The reason that Tearlament isn't winning anymore is because it's not playing Fukui. Jolliness rating. They do still got 5 jolly people. But this kid has been through fucking war. He is actually, this kid just came home from fucking Vietnam. Token Feast Evil. I'm not insane, right? That's not how you spell festival. Like, we're looking at the word Feast Evil here. What is going on? When a token is special summoned, destroy as many tokens on the field as possible, and if you do, inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each token destroyed. So unfortunately, this is kind of just a worse version of Token Collector. It's a trap instead of a hand trap. It doesn't floodgate your opponent out of summoning more tokens. The only thing it has over it is the burn damage, which unfortunately is never beating the burn damage that Longwan is going to do to you, so not very good against Sword Soul, even in a scenario where you're going into time. But in terms of jolliness, look at them. They're getting lit. They're having a toast, like to scarfing down tokens like a rat does cheese. See, this is the real token Thanksgiving. This actually looks like they're having a Thanksgiving feast of tokens. This is like token picking. This is like you're at a token orchard picking the tokens. This is you sitting down to dine on the tokens. That's Token Thanksgiving. Did you know Scrap Kong Shirt Kid is in the Art of Bunny Ears enthusiast? Oh, we gotta add that one now. I didn't know he was in that. Bunny Ear Enthusiast. Once per chain, when a monster on the field, except Bunny Ear Enthusiast, activates effect. Quick effect, you can place one Bunny Ear counter on it, and it cannot be destroyed by battle as long as it has that counter. Once per turn, you can target one monster with a Bunny Ear counter, banish both it and this card until the standby phase of the next turn. This card is obviously designed kind of like a joke, but it's actually kind of got some interesting application to it. Battle protection is not like that good, but if you just like for some reason get Bunny Ear Enthusiast onto the board, then being able to bestow battle protection to all of your monsters is it's something. But on top of that, it does have this secondary effect to basically SP Little Knight anything that it's already placed a Bunny Ear counter on. So it's a little belated. It only is able to banish the card after that monster has already resolved one of its effects. But theoretically, if some deck is just able to summon a level 1 Beast Warrior and then has to end its turn, is this really the worst one it could be doing? Every level 1 Beast Warrior reviewed. Yeah, see, it's the only one that isn't a ritual monster that has a quick effect. Now, how jolly is everyone in this image? We're gonna need some high definition to see how fucked up that Scrap Kong kid is. Okay, he's cheered up a little bit. The darkness hasn't fully consumed him. I'd say this is a pretty jolly card. Mame Maki. Okay, so he's taken off the shirt, but he's still like a little fucked up. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, discard cards equal to that monster's level, and if you do, draw the same number of cards you discarded, then return that monster to the hand. The reason Tear Lament isn't winning anymore is because it's not playing Mame Maki. Mame Maki references the practice of throwing beans at someone dressed like a demon on Setsubun of Spring Festival. Okay, so this guy, the Scrap Kong kid, drew the short end of the stick and has to wear the demon costume. I see now why he's still a little fucked up even though he got to change. From an objective standpoint, every single part of this card is good, except for the fact that you have to discard exactly as many as the level of the card of the monster you targeted. Let's say, theoretically, in Sprite format, when everything you're targeting is going to be a level 2, being able to, like, consistently say, this card is a discard 2, draw 2, then bounce one of my opponent's monsters, that's extremely good. It's the fact that it's not consistently that, and is very frequently, like, there's a whole ton of guesswork as to whether or not you're even going to be able to resolve it in any given matchup. Because, like, if your opponent's on, like 8 axis, for example, like, they're on, like, Danger Bigfoot, Gizmek Orochi, Summon Hextrude mode, you're not resolving Mame Maki, because you're never having 8 cards in hand. Especially if you're playing a deck that sets Mame Maki. If you could consistently get 8 cards in hand, then activating this card, discarding 8, and drawing 8 is broken as hell. It's the fact that there's no guarantees of any of this that just ruins it. Oh my fucking god, I just noticed Bean Soldier. I just noticed Bean Soldier standing next to the kid. And that's Jerry Beans, man, holy fuck! All the beans. This motherfucker got beaned. Holy shit. Bean Soldier's just like, you got it, boss. Alright, Mr. Krabs. I think this is a pretty jolly card. Especially with this pose he's hitting, I think he's fallen into his role quite well. I think he's made peace with being the beaned demon. At least he's getting there. He's starting to accept his place in this society. Matching outfits. Both players reveal the top card of their deck. If they're the same type of card, both players add them to their hands, otherwise banish them. So unlike Gift Exchange, which doesn't really give you any incentive to give your opponent a good gift, matching outfits does incentivize you to give your opponent the same gift that they're giving you. But it also doesn't really give you, like, the choice, right? you just have to randomly attempt, and that's I guess what it's like trying to give matching gifts in real life. You don't know what the other person is getting for you, but sometimes you randomly just get each other the same thing. And that's the spirit of matching outfits. Or maybe I'm reading too deep into it and it's just a stupid card. This is supposed to have the Scrap Kong kid. So the two kids, they're very happy. The dad is happy, and as you can see, he's coming around to it. He's not happy about it, but he's like, if it makes my dad happy, I'll wear the Scrap Kong shirt. I'll be the Scrap Kong Goblin Kid. Oh, Token Bomb. Tribute 2 or more tokens with the same level, then target monsters in your graveyard with that same level, up to the number of tokens tributed. Special summon them, but their effects are negated. Also destroy them during the end phase. Alright, so here's what you do. Is you activate Rite of Aramasir, activate O Token Bomb, get rid of the adventure token, summon a Prank Kid from graveyard, and then link it off for... All around me are familiar faces. No meow moo. And look at them. They're so fucked up. This guy's chin is on the table. This guy is like actually like he's conked out. He's ready to go home. This guy's got one in his mouth still. They're so fucking jolly. Onikuji. Once per turn during your standby phase, your opponent declares one card type, monster, spell, or trap. Excavate the top card of your deck. Then if it is that type of card, your opponent draws one card. Otherwise, discard one random card from their hand. Place the excavated card on the bottom of your deck. Okay, so the excavated card actually doesn't go anywhere. It always just goes to the bottom of the deck. Your opponent's just guessing what's on top of your deck, and then it just goes away. It just leaves. It's like, okay, my work here is done. So it's just gambling. It's literally just gambling. This card is just, your opponent guesses what's on top of your deck. If they get it right, they get something. If they get it wrong, they lose something. They're betting a card. It's literally just gambling. As I've said, this kid is warming up a bit. He's not scowling or cringing as much anymore. Meanwhile, this guy is fucking it up. He's off a perk telling you to guess his name for your firstborn child. Onikuji are fortunes written on paper that people in temples at New Year's that you randomly draw from like an 8-ball. This is a pun with Oni, which means devil. Yeah, so I guess that's this guy. This purple goblin man who's like, hey kid, your fortune is that you're gonna get fucking wasted on that token pack this year. Hatsugai. Now what I love about this one is that we've got these 4 kids, but they left the Scrap Kong kid at home. They didn't bring him with. This guy, this salesman, who is very happy, has his own Scrap Kong shirt, but they left the kid. They left the Scrap Kong kid, they didn't invite him! Art Note says the old goblin is the Scrap Kid. I don't believe that. I think these are the same 4 kids. They look exactly the same. All goblin kids look the same. If this is the Scrap Kong kid, and the shirt somehow still fits him, then yeah, this has had a happy ending, and this is the jolliest card. If not, then this is the saddest card I have ever seen. Excavate the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck, or as many as possible. Choose one excavated card, declare a number in multiples of 100, minimum 100, maximum 3,000. Your opponent can choose to gain life points equal to the declared numbers. If they gained life points, you lose that amount of life points, and if you do, add that chosen card to your hand, place the rest of it on the top of the deck in the same order. If they did not, place the excavated cards on top of the deck. What this card is saying is that you look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck, you pick one, and you make them a life point offer. You offer to give them an amount of life points from your own life points. And if they agree to that price, you get the card. If not, they just keep it. You may have noticed here, there is no reason whatsoever for them ever to agree. The life points are supposed to be the incentive. But like, why the fuck would you take the life points? Always take the dinner, never take the life points. Hatsugai, I don't even have to wait. I remember this being like, I believe it's like, it means like the first purchase of the new year. Like, kids will get like money for New Year's, and then they go out the next day and buy something with the money they got. There, I did one all on my own. How did I do? King Yosukui. You can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is a monster with the same attribute as the target, add it to your hand, and if you do, shuffle the target into the deck. Otherwise, send the excavated cards to the graveyard. Also destroy this card. The reason Tier Lament isn't winning is because they're not playing King Yosukui. Imagine your opponent attempts to resolve their Tier Lament. You go King Yosukui, target your Tier Lament, excavate, bam, Havness. Now you get the Havness, shuffle back their Tier Lament. It's a winning formula. King Yosukui is scooping goldfish out of a tank during summer festivals. All right, so these 2 in the back, they're pretty happy. These 2 are pretty happy. The purple guy, he's disgusted. He's disgruntled. He is not with it. The upstart goblin, the goblin agreed here, he's like, he's pretty happy because he feels very strongly that this kid is not going to get, he's not going to get a goldfish. But the Scrap Kong kid, he's determined. He's like, this is going to be my festival. Christmas, I got a shitty Scrap Kong shirt. They gave me broccoli in the potluck. I got this fucking toilet paper or whatever when my friend got an Amazing Time ticket. They made me dress up like a demon and throw beans at me. I had to wear a matching shirt with my fucking dad. This evil purple demon gave me my fortune. But now, today will be different. I'm getting that fucking fish. This will be my year. So what have we learned today? Nothing. We never learn anything here. We've learned the least we've possibly ever learned in this one, because none of these cards are good except, I don't know, I guess Token Collector. But we've had a lot of fun, and we've had a great Christmas celebration, and we've learned about the power of determination, as this kid had a rough go of it, but he's never given up. This holiday, this is gonna be the one for him. And next year on Token Halloween, he's gonna be dressed up fully Scrap Kong geared out, and you'll all be sorry. You'll all be sorry for throwing beans at this motherfucker. The Bean Devil, the Bean Devil shivers when a nice goblin loses his cool. Merry Christmas.